Good morning. Today we're going to be setting up 3 arches from Gardener's Supply. I'll show you the label in a minute. But they came and they've just been sitting on the front porch getting rained on, the boxes falling apart. And it's time to put them together. And I don't think all 3 of them are going to end up in my raised bed garden, my kitchen garden area, which is kind of a sinking raised bed. It keeps getting lower and lower because we wood chip up. So I'm going to try to raise that up this year as well. Put a couple more boards on it and make it taller so bunnies don't get in, because it was a really bad year for bunnies. So there's 3 arches, and I'm not going to be using them as a tunnel because my husband got me a hoop house for Christmas, so I'll be putting that together later once we can flatten the area where it's going to go. But so we're going to put 3 of these arches together. 2 of them are going to end up, I know, maybe 3 in the raised bed area, maybe not. So we'll just see how it goes. It's sitting here on the front porch, getting wet now, and it's just taking up a lot of space, so figured I'll get it out of here because it crowds the area where I may want to put the pot with the tulips in it. So I'm going to open it. This is where I am imagining this going. There's 3 arbors. I'm going to do 1 on that side, 1 on this side, and then 1 here in this bed. Hopefully. We'll see how it works. I do hope to make these beds a little taller. At least the ones in the back a little taller this year so that bunnies don't get into them and eat everything. This is what I'm putting together. One down, 2 to go. If you were looking for an inexpensive set of arbors, I think this is a pretty good one. It's not super easy to put together. It says hand tighten, but my husband pointed out they're lock nuts, which means they have some sort of like a material in them. Hang on, just focus, there we go. These are lock nuts, so there's a little membrane inside here that needs to be tightened past. And sure, you can hand tighten it, but I'm fairly weak, so I'm using a drill. And also using a wrench, socket wrench to hold it in place. 2 arches now. Thankfully, my husband helped me. Yay!
Should I lower this one?
It looks like the back corner, that back side needs to go down a little bit. Eventually there will be things growing on them.
I think it looks terrific. It really does. It really looks great. We need 4 of these, don't we?
Yeah.
1, 1, 4.
There's 2 that are 1 1s and 2 that are 2 1s.
Okay. So let's do that. These are 2 1. This one is.
Oh, but no, because you can't put them together until you get the. Oh yeah, you could. You could make like a little ladder.
Do 1 2 piece. Plus the other thing. So let's pre-do these.
Where was your brain?
How many of those in advance? Can we get 4?
Yeah. We can do the 2 legs in advance anyway. The third one we have placed back here by the back 40. I haven't really finished working on this area. This is where I had all the zinnias earlier in the season, and I think it'll be really beautiful with an arbor here. And my mom got me a type of climbing bauhinia. I'll ask her the name and I'll put it on the screen right now. But it's a beautiful climbing vine with white flowers. So I think I'll put that on one side or the other of this arbor. And she got me 2. I'll put another one elsewhere in the garden. But this area, this is a tub we took out of the warehouse, the old kind of scary bathroom that was in there, and eventually I'll plant that up with something. But this is a nice archway to enter through this area and up here, and next year I'm gonna mound up more dirt here, and all along here I'm gonna go with more zinnias, just zinnia, and just continue to develop both sides of this path this way here. So that's really exciting. I'm really excited to have that set up. And then the other 2 ended up in the raised bed garden, the kitchen garden, and a few pointers. On the third one, we ended up assembling the sides first, and then assembling the top, assembling the sides, and then putting them together. And that, I think, went faster. It took us about 10 minutes, I think, to do the third one. Whereas the first one, it was me alone and I was struggling and it took me forever. And I was figuring it out. By the second one, then Erin came and helped me. And it went together more quickly, but still having these sides already assembled makes it slightly less floppy. And it does say tighten by hand, but I would absolutely get a little socket wrench, get your drill, and carefully tighten it. using that, don't overdo it, of course. Because unless you're strong enough, I'm just not. I have carpal tunnel, so can't do it. But I'm really excited about this. And the other pointers is that there are pieces that are labeled 2, and there are the side pieces, and there are side pieces that are labeled 1. And the reason for that is that the 2s are double-ended to go inside of another tube, because these 5s are universal. So once you get to the end of a 5 run, you need to have, this will make more sense when you're doing it, you need to have one little insert. So that's what the 2s are for. And on the drawing, it doesn't really help that much. So when you're looking at it, one side will be all 1s, 1, 1, and then on this side, what do I do? It'll be a 1 and a 2. So 1, 1, and then 1, 2. Because the 2 alternately goes in. So there's 2, 4, 6 of the 2 pieces, number 2 pieces here. So that's just a little point to look at. And these bottom pieces are really sharp. They went through, we have a layer of cardboard and a layer of wood chips, and they just went right through it. So it's very cool. Got all 3 of them together and placed, and I'm thrilled with where they are. I'm excited to start growing things up and over them. More food related items in the kitchen garden, and then over here just a really pretty fragrant vine. So they seem very solid. Once they're in the ground, they don't wiggle around as much. They're kind of wiggling when they're not, but definitely get help if you're going to make them carefully. Unless you're really strong arms and hands, carefully use a drill and a socket wrench to get them to tighten up. And I may not be using the right tool term anyway. But I hope this helps you put them together. If you get them, they're, I think, a really great value if you're wanting to do a bunch of arbors. Otherwise, each arbor might be $140, $100, whatever. And I've gotten some cheaper ones, like a $29 arbor, metal arbor, and it wouldn't hold. It just flopped over, just kept falling over. So we'll see if these ones hold up to the wind. I'll let you know. But I'm excited to have them in the garden now and have more vertical interest in the areas where everything's pretty low. So that's going to do it for me for today. Thank you for joining me, and I will catch up with you next time. Bye-bye.